I'm live. Yeah. Okay. Hello. It's me again, and it's Walter again. And today I have a special guest, Christopher Kirkwood of Blue Arrow Maps on Twitter, and we will be doing whatever the hell it is I feel like doing because, as always, I have not prepared. Let's begin. All right. Nice to see you. First question, as always, how cute is Walter on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the most cute?
I would go 10.
That is the correct answer. You are not eaten and bitten to death. All right, let's move on. So, when I was talking to you, firstly, I was interested in let's say I'm gonna make a map. Let's make it of a nice small state. Maybe, let's say I'm making a map of Minnesota because I feel like it. And that's going to make it 7 precincts. And I'm interested in how you would create a map like this. If I were to say, draw this as favorably for the Democratic Party as possible, how would you start? I'm interested in the way you approach your gerrymanders.
Well, I typically start with what group do I want to advantage. So that's Democrats. They're largely concentrated in the Twin Cities and the point of Minnesota where the Iron Range is. So what I would do first is basically draw most of the border with the Dakotas into a district, basically calling Peterson's district now, and then take St. Cloud and kind of like central Minnesota and stick in a district, and there you've got most of your Republicans in it. And if I'm gerrymandering this, I'll probably combine the three main Democratic Iron Range counties, St. Louis, Lake, and Cook, with Washington County, and then do like a Dakota County, Rochester district, and then 2 within the Twin Cities, and then kind of like a lean Republican toss-up district in the South.
Now, actually, I'm interested. Go to your screen or whatever it is. I want to see how you would make a fair map of Minnesota live, because I did a fair map of Minnesota live about a month and a half ago, and I'm interested in to see how they would compare. And I will pull mine up and take that off the stream.
All right.
Hi. Hello, Chris, Carson. Nice to see you all. Glad to see you're tuning in. It's going to be most likely a very interesting episode because, as always, I don't have anything prepared, but I have maybe 100, 150 maps sitting in here that I haven't bothered to publish. So we'll see what happens.
And Minnesota was 7?
7 or 8. I did mine 7, so I guess I prefer if you do 7 just so it's easier to compare them. But I mean,
all right, I'll do 7.
Another question I forgot to ask you. What's your population deviation? What do you go with?
I try to keep it less than 1,000 in all cases.
Fewer. Oh, sorry. I mean fewer. I'm that kind of person. Yeah, most people do 1,000. I'm just interested because I know I do 100. I think who is it? It's the Federalist 1776 or whatever. The guy from the Republican from NC. I think he does 100, but most people do 1,000. I was just interested where you fall. So yeah, pull up your screen, share your screen. I'll add to the screen and let's see how this works.
All right. Is my screen sharing?
Nope, not yet. Why am I not?
How's that?
Oh, there it is. I'll add this to the stream, and we'll see what happens.
All right. So fair Minnesota. We're doing fair, right?
Yeah. I just want to see how you would go about this. Just do it live.
All right.
And we'll pull up. I mean, don't worry about like making everything precise and perfect, of course. But just I'll pull up mine and we'll see what happens.
All right.
So right off the gate, I'm noticing that you like to turn your partisanship on, and I like to keep it off. That's going to be interesting because it feels like you're going to be focusing more on proportionality with regards to your districts, making that try and appear like the statewide balance, whereas I generally care about compactness and communities of interests, but that sometimes does not lead to a very proportional map.
Yeah, I'm definitely very partisanship focused. Like, my first priority is usually try to get the state to partisanly look like the state, and then other stuff comes into consideration.
Yeah, so that, for example, is basically the opposite of what I do. When I'm making my fair maps, I don't care about how they turn out as long as they make sense. I remember when I was streaming with Eric Cunningham a little while ago, not a little while ago, actually, it would have been 2 or 3 months by now. We were doing Minnesota, and he liked to split the western part of Minnesota vertically, kind of like the current 7, 1, and 8. And I like to split it horizontally. And there was some contention about which better, represents Minnesota. And, because we're good friends, right? It was amicable and all that. But, it was a little heated, not too much. And I noticed that you appear to like to keep counties whole as much as possible. That was June. That was 3 months ago. Wow. Time flies.
Definitely. Anyway, I'm noticing in quarantine.
Yep. I'm noticing you like to keep your counties together as much as possible. Do you have any reasons why?
And just think like your county is kind of like one of your top communities of interest.
All right.
Let's see. Where's Dakota?
And then you can see, well, the audience can't see, but you can see that I have my map queued up, ready to go. And this is actually really interesting. And I noticed when I was building this that, just curious, are you using 2010 or 2018 population?
2018.
I should probably make mine with 2018. I just always go off 2010 because I like the census data and its accuracy. But now that 2021 and all that is approaching, maybe I should switch to 2018. Remember, because you got a new couch that day. That is fascinating, actually. A couch. All right. Yeah, in general, we normally have about 5 people watching live, maybe 2 or 3 of whom participate in chat, and then about 2 to 3 dozen watch after the fact. But the numbers the viewership has slowly but steadily been increasing from 18 in my first video to around 50 in my latest. So, and I don't focus on the viewership that much. I mean, I do this because it makes me happy. My guests are having fun and the viewers have fun. I don't really care too much about the numbers as long as there's no, toxic elements. Do you ever, I have a question. Do you ever turn city lines on when you're making your maps?
Sometimes if it's like a small area, I'll turn them on, but normally it just like hurts my eyes because there's so much.
All right. Thank you, Carson. Eric always says his views go way up after it is over. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, especially because, for example, StreamYard, I believe, only tracks people who are viewing via the StreamYard link, and I don't think it tracks people who are viewing via the YouTube link, but I could be wrong. All right, you did the 1,000. I'm easily half of my time making maps is spent just trying to squeeze it to under 100. All right, so let me, oh, wait, maybe this? No, that's not good. I probably should have figured this out ahead of time.
Should I hit stop?
All right. I do not seem to be able to put both screens on top at the same time. I really should have tried to do this before. I really should have tested this out. Whatever. We'll just go one by one. So we'll start with the North Iron Range district. So we have kind of a similar district. So I noticed that you put yours a little bit south, and I had mine kind of flatter, but I feel like it's probably the same sort of district COI base, right? Like 90%. You can check me on this. I assume both districts are over 90% Caucasian. They're probably very significantly Republican. Who won your green district in the gubernatorial race in 2018?
Let's see. Throwing that
Because
down.
mine was Dayton or whoever the Republican was. I'm not good with names. Whoever the Republican was, he won it by 1,000 votes. And yours is only a slight difference, but it appears to be going into maybe slightly more ancestral D territory. I'm curious as to whether that changes things. 2,000 votes.
Mine's definitely more ancestral Dem, but yeah, one Republican won it by 2,000 votes.
Oh, go through your districts and quick, make sure Klobuchar won all 7 districts, or I will remove your map from the stream because those spawns of the devil are not permitted on my stream. We have the Kloba dream alive.
Yep. Let's see here. Let's see. Amy's got... She's got the... I like to call it the Great Northern District.
Great Northern. I just call that hockey country.
Let's see. Oh, she didn't win the blue one.
Boo! 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 Queen of slime! Queen of filth! Queen of putrescence! Boo! That's actually pretty close. Fix it. Fix it.
All right.
I want to keep doing this conversation, but I can't look at that eyesore right now. Do some massaging or whatever.
Yeah, let's see. Did that put her over? Let's see. That put her over on that one. Oh, and I've got people to work with here. So let's see.
And you claim you want to reflect the partisanship of the states.
Yeah.
I wonder if I have my stapler with me. I do not. That is unfortunate. And while he does that, I'm gonna talk about my map a bit more. So I got the first district, like this. The second district is similar to the current first. Of course, since there are 7 districts total and not 8, it needs to be a bit bigger. So being a bit bigger, I kind of took it like here, trying to make the river border using some natural borders. I also put it up a bit further into, I think this is like Rochester, Mankato area. The 7th district is like odd. It doesn't really have much of a current analog in the current map. But it's basically the leftovers district. And Klobuchar won that district, right? Oh, frick! Klobuchar lost that district.
Oof.
Yeah, my map is awful too. I didn't realize that, but Klobuchar lost that district by like 3,000 votes. Yikes. Okay, undo your changes. We'll fix them. We'll fix them and bring them back for the end of the stream. Possibly change if I remember. But wow, that is very saddening to see. I thought when I made it that she had won it, but I guess I realized I made two fair maps in Minnesota. Maybe this is the other one. Well, that hurts my feelings. She lost by 3,000 votes. Anyway, and so my favorite part, so I'm going to bring this on the stream. Whereas you did that blue district and the purple district. As I mentioned when I was talking to Eric, you split them vertically, and I split mine horizontally. So your yellow district is kind of similar to my blue district, but it takes a little bit of that brown area right here. So yours is kind of like shifted a bit clockwise compared to mine, and I'm interested in what made you do that.
I was going for like the Washington, Dakota suburbs kind of district because I feel like those two areas go well together, and then St. Paul and Minneapolis are kind of their own thing. I usually do put Anoka with like a Democratic district, or I like cut it in half, like layer-wise, top half goes Republican, bottom Democratic. But this map, I guess I just didn't do that. And the purple district, I just felt like that was a good kind of swing district that's leaning more Democratic. Like my Iron Range district technically leans Democratic, but I wouldn't expect a Democrat to hold it currently. Whereas I would say like Andy Craig could probably totally hold the purple one.
Your red district, could you zoom in a bit on that Twin Cities area from a bad eyesight, please? Is that a district? How much of that is within Ramsey County?
Most of it is. Let's see. County lines drawn up.
All right. I know some people don't like to split Ramsey and Hennepin, or to cross between them. I know I generally don't, but that's kind of interesting because maybe that eastern area that's red in Hennepin County might be closer to St. Paul than it is to Minneapolis culturally. That's certainly possible. I tend to instead of doing that, I like to use parts of whatever county this is, Anoka County, and leave the Omar district fully within Hennepin. There's one thing that I really wanted to show. When I was making this map, I'm very proud of realizing that these three counties, the southeastern counties, just perfectly fit into a district. +5 population deviation on 2010 data. It's just perfect. Oh no, -1 precinct for population equality. But 1 precinct, and then these 3 counties perfectly fit into a district. And it also works because the southeastern suburbs, they're a good community of interest, much more conservative, much whiter than the north and western suburbs. As you can tell by this 72% county and this 85%, 82, and 86. And I really like this one. You have those 2 counties, you have 2 of those counties, but then you put it into southeastern Hennepin. So that's, as you mentioned, more of a partisanship thing than a COI thing. And I find that interesting. And then my Massachusetts, my 6th district is very similar to the old 6th district from last decade, the Bachman district. Whereas your Brown district is kind of like the current 5th district, but like shifted westwards. What are the stats on that one?
Let's see. That's District 7. There we are. So still fairly white in the high 70s and over 60% Democrat. Wow.
Now, I saw what inspired me to invite you on the show was on Twitter. I was seeing some of your map series making their way onto my timeline, and this thing where you put an absurd amount of districts in a state, and then you make a map out of that. And I think you call it 5 times Wyoming rule, I think is what you mentioned. And let's see some of that. Where's your Maryland map for that 5 times?
All right, let's see. Is it showing up?
Nope, not yet.
All right, let's see.
We're still stuck on. Yep, there it goes.
All right, I'm switching which DRA is it? I think it's this one. That wasn't no.
Yeah, show me your 5 times Wyoming rule with Maryland.
I haven't done a Maryland yet. Let's see.
Yeah, that sounds like a moral failure, and you should get on that.
I'll do that next. Oh, there we go.
Oh, California. Here we go. I'm going to see if I can zoom in full screen layout. We're going to do that. Actually, that doesn't really change it enough, and it makes me feel a little bit nauseous not being able to see myself talk, so we're going to exit full screen layout. All right. So how many districts is this?
321.
321. Is that a non-contiguous district up at that northeast?
No, this is it's a weird
northeast. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's an enclaved one. It's got the city of Redding within Shasta County, pretty much.
Oh, those are 2 different districts.
Yep.
Oh, I thought you just messed up the contiguity. So the districts really are that small, huh?
Yep. 122,000 people, roughly.
Wow. That is crazy. Things you learn. So I guess you just don't really care about county borders when you're doing it like this.
Oh no, this makes it basically impossible.
Oh, Carson. He hates his state. Zoom in on San Diego, please.
All right.
That's a lot of districts. that dark red at the right reminds me of the old Duncan Hunter district. Let me pull that up real quick. Let me just pull that up real quick. Duncan Hunter Senior, not Duncan Hunter Junior. 2000. I think the 2000s was it. Let me check. Wow, I have so many filler words. I think it was the 2052. No, that's the wrong one. Was it the 90s? No. There we go. 45. This district. It's very much the same because this is all basically empty land anyways, so no one cares about that. And it kind of reminds me about how it's like a straight line coming down west and pushing in. Of course, it's, not perfect, right? Because it has more people being 1 out of 45 instead of 1 out of 300 something or other. But it's kind of very similar to that. And let's see. I was not aware of how conservative northern San Diego was. How do you determine your partisanship colors? Do you use what, PVI 2016 data?
I used to do PVI. Now I'm doing composite data. This is the first one I did with composite.
I personally don't like composite data. Can you explain why you do use it?
Well, I feel like the composite data, once I started actually using it, it gives a better picture in a lot of instances as to recent developments. Like, for example, Robeson County in North Carolina, I would say I think the PBI is like D+2, but it's definitely trending away from Democrats. And I just did a North Carolina map, and the district is most of Robeson, and the composite is it favors Republicans by 2 or 3%.
However, for example, this data would most likely include the 2016 Senate election, would it not?
I don't know if it does. Let's see. I think it says some.
Oh, it mentions? Okay. Well, either way, I don't generally like it because, for example, uncontested races or races with only token opposition can swing the totals. I think maybe you scroll down to the bottom. Oh, my Lord. No, it doesn't. 181 majority-minority districts.
Yep.
181. Wow. So, wow. And that's 100 proportionality, which makes sense given how few people are in a district. I'm very surprised that the splitting is so high. I would expect it to be low because you're splitting every single county.
I think it's just like the splitting goes down if you have like unnecessary splitting. So like I did hop some county lines to put stuff together, but it wasn't that big of a deal.
That makes sense. Let's see. That is a crazy map. What's your color scheme? How do you come up with it, and what is it?
My color scheme. Oh, hold on, my map's glitching out.
It happens to me a lot. I don't know how to fix it. I just refresh a lot and sometimes leave and come back, and then it works.
Yeah, my color scheme is basically dark red means it's favored for Republicans 30 points in one direction, or 30 points or over. The next shade down is the normal red. That's Republican 20 to 30. The next color is called Indian red in DRA, and that's 10 to 20. Then my scale changes. I go to a 5 to 10. That's like the pinkish red. And then the light pink is 0 to 5. And then we're working our way up in the Democratic one, so this didn't refresh. But anyway, this shade would be 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 plus for Democrats. And then I don't have a pink one here, but
I see. Could you move up to LA? I just want to see where all that dark blue would end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot all those like retirement communities in the south. Yeah, it's just a beautiful looking map. I've always loved doing maps with a whole bunch of districts because you can see all those intricacies and all the trends without being overwhelmed by going all the way down to the pressing level. Now I have a map that I want to share that I made a couple months ago. It's this nice, beautiful 10-4 all safe map of Georgia. Nice dem gerrymander, and it's it's a nice map that I made. Maybe not the best map I made, but it's a pretty good one, and I like it. So you got your R plus 29 district here, R plus 32. I think this would be one of the most conservative districts in the country. Democrats didn't even crack 20% here. R plus 18 and R plus 17, and yes, this is contiguous. Let me zoom in a wee bit. It is 100% contiguous, as you can see. This is at least I have to zoom in a bit more. Yeah, there it is. It's contiguous, as you can tell. Very contiguous. Now, let me just do that because then that usually cuts me. There we go. I learned that nice little trick. If you zoomed in too far and you don't want to bother zooming out, you can get to the precise zoom by just doing this. And it works. And I don't know why it works, but it works. And that's a cool trick that however many are watching can learn. And then the rest are nice, are just whatever. This one, for example, is D+2 trending leftwards. Clinton by 7, Abrams by 10. This is D+4, so I let it trend leftwards a little bit less because I think it's safer. And since there's 50% black, I think it's a bit more immune from possibly flipping. So, Clinton by 9, Abrams by 11. Then I do all the Atlanta cracking. This is actually R plus 1. So I had to make it trend left a great deal from Clinton plus 5 all the way to Abrams plus 13. I had to make sure it trends left just so it won't come flipping back because it is, after all, R plus 1. This one is D plus 4. So, you'll notice that a lot of these districts are around the Clinton 52 through 53%, Abrams 56, 57, 58% that I like because they trend leftwards, and that's around that 55 to 60% mark that is safe for district. This will be Clinton by 11, Abrams by 15. So that was a little bit of packing more than I wanted to, but it couldn't be avoided. Just by the way the districts were assigned, it just couldn't be avoided. So we got District 9, which is a nice one. D plus 5, Clinton by 12, Abrams by 14. District 10 is only D plus 3, but it was Clinton by 9, Abrams by 15. This one's D plus 4. It was conservative exurbs and all that, so I had to go into South Atlanta with all the black folks. Clinton plus 9, Abrams plus 12. This district, nice one. It was only D plus 1, but it was Clinton plus 15 and Abrams plus 20. And this was a huge D margin, but the districts surrounding it were already safe, so it just couldn't be helped. This was R plus 1, but Clinton plus 11 and Abrams plus 16, so it's basically immune from flipping back anytime soon. It's like the current Georgia 7, Georgia 6 mishmash. And this is R plus 0.01, which I like. However, it is Clinton plus 11 and Abrams plus 18, which means that its Romney voting must be somewhat insane. And I am actually interested in seeing how McCain would have performed there. Would have been McCain by, it would have actually been Obama by 4. So, wow, that must have been some insane Romney numbers. And then, of course, I'm going to ask a few more questions, but because I showed that, I, of course, need to show my counterpart to that, which is my Republican version, a nice 12-2 map where all but 2 districts are safe, and those districts would most likely be safe in the future. Which is a slightly different version of Atlanta cracking and packing. Once this loads. I think I mentioned how slow. There we go. So it's a nice map. Actually, really clean. Very nice looking. It's just a good map in general. So you got your district, your 92 to 8 district here, and you got your 88 to 12 district here, and that's South Atlanta this time instead of packing North Atlanta. And so you'll notice that the tendril is stretching a little bit further, divvied up, and it's those subtle things that determine whether it's a D gerrymander or an R gerrymander. Surprisingly, Atlanta was not very difficult to partition. It was actually southern Georgia that was harder because there's a lot of 60-40 precedents one way or the other instead of those 90-10s you get in Atlanta. So this, 60% or 59%, 61% is that perfect area. Mathematically, a 60% is where you want to go. There was a video on that I think I posted somewhere. 59%, 60%. 58, 59, but that's all right because it's still 61% white. So no problems. 58 and still 58. 57, 58. 57, 56. But again, 61% white, so no problems there. This district 60, 58. Nice little tendril right in here, so 57, 55, but again, not trending left all that quick, stays safe for a decade. Here we go, taking this little area, 58, 58, not trending left at all, because I like this blood red North Georgia. And then here, 58, 58, and then the two districts that are technically not safe, this one's Trump by 14, Kemp by 8, but will most likely be Republican by double digits throughout the decade. But, just in case, I put it at likely. Same story with this one, just in case, Fulton somehow becomes less blood red. Trump plus 17, Kemp plus 10. And that's it. I got some more to share, but I can do that on my own time. So, next thing I wanted to see was you had some things on map chart that you were mentioning to me. I want to see those.
All right. Let's see if I can bring that up.
Oh, and
there we go.
All right. So, what exactly does this mean?
So this is a map of most of the right to hunt and fish amendments that have happened since 1998, I believe. And those are basically a state decides, hey, we want to legally protect the rights of our citizens to hunt and fish. So they put it up to a popular vote. And so far, only one state has voted it down, and that is Arizona. And it has a very odd coalition here.
Mm-hmm.
The next closest state was North Carolina. It only voted 57% for the amendment, and then Virginia voted 59% for. All the other states are at least like 65% for the amendment.
Is this my bad vision, or does it look like Loudoun County voted against the amendment, but Fairfax voted for it?
Yes, that's actually accurate.
Now, do you have any reasons why that would be the case?
Arlington, Alexandria, Falls Church, and Fairfax City, they're it would be like if you cropped a city out of Loudoun County and made it its own city county, like if you made Leesburg its own city. So for Fairfax, you're basically taking the populations that would vote against it and putting them in their own groups, because if you had Arlington and Alexandria combined with Fairfax, it would be red would have voted against it. But as it is
now, even though Fairfax's population is like 7 times the population of Arlington County, were the margins that distinct?
The margin in Fairfax was 50.0 something. Like it passed by like 1,000 votes in Fairfax County. But in Arlington, it passed with 66% of the vote, 1,000 more votes.
Okay. I guess also turnout matters.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Also, which year it happened also had an impact. Virginia's happened in 2000, and North Carolina was 2016. All of the others were mostly in the 2008 to 2014 range, besides Wisconsin and Minnesota.
I'm noticing a lot of states that have all blue counties.
Yes.
What was could you explain the choice of a color scheme, please?
Well, I just kind of, I was definitely going to have red as the against color, and because I had like this color scale in mind for like my other political maps, I was just like, okay, just make blue yes, red no.
Hmm. Let's see. What was another thing I wanted to see? Oh yeah, so I also did a map. Have you done that 5 times Wyoming rule for Alabama yet?
Not yet, no.
No, okay, never mind. Because I did a nice map for Alabama with 100 districts. Just because I was interested in seeing what that would look like. I did it for fun over the summer. I'm just gonna briefly share it and take it back. Just gonna briefly share it. Oh my. And you know, it's what you would expect. You know, it's what you would expect. Lots of conservative areas throughout the state. I think this one I did based off of PVI because I don't think there's 2016 data, but I can't remember precisely. And I don't remember how I did this. I know I didn't look at partisan data when I did it. It wasn't trying to be a gerrymander or anything. I don't remember exactly how or why or whatever. The nice thing to notice is Auburn, the college at Auburn is actually crazily conservative. And you know, it's still a Southern college, football culture and all that, but it's a little surprising for people who would know. Not all colleges are crazy.
And its precinct is huge. It's like 64,000 people.
Yes. Yeah, I remember that. It's much bigger than it needed to be. That's also, but also Auburn, I mean, it's mostly Auburn, I think. What else was I planning to say? Oh yeah, so, looking back, I haven't actually done this map yet. I probably should, but I haven't. I'm interested in how you think that this map would perform in, say, 2016. I haven't drawn this map like I've drawn a lot of historical maps, so I have no idea how accurate it would be. Actually, you know what? No, let's do one that I have drawn for. Let's do one I have drawn for because that would be more fun because I can actually check that. I have actually drawn this map down to the present. And I wonder how you think it would perform, or would it performed in 2016?
I'm thinking the Savannah to Athens district would have gone for Clinton. And then how many are...
Okay, so District 12 gone to Clinton, all right.
All right, can you zoom in on Atlanta so I can see those better?
Yeah, so District 5 is this. I don't think that one needs much explanation. There's a whole bunch of black people there. District 4 is this one.
Solid Clinton.
Yep. District 13. I didn't realize it was still 13. Also very solid Clinton. I wonder why they drew it like that, though, because they really didn't need to. Well, maybe it was just for the fun of it. And then I assume the districts you were talking about. So this is District 7.
Let's see. I'm thinking, like, within a point or two for... Let's see. Does it have a county overlay to it at all?
Yeah, you can see these thin dotted lines. Those are the counties.
Oh, okay.
It's not the best. But like this is the county border. I'm mousing over county borders right now.
Okay. Is this Cobb over here?
I don't know the names of counties, but yeah, probably.
Okay. I'm thinking this one went narrowly for Clinton because this one looks like it's got the Democratic part of Cobb. Tate's in Republican turf. Yeah, this is the outline of the old Milton County right here. And then it looks like...
I didn't even know there was an old Milton County. All right, and then, of course, this would most likely be shifting drastically leftwards for Biden.
Oh, yeah.
But we all know that. 7, where is it? 6. This was Johnny Isaacson district, right here. Back at the time, 20 years ago, base of Republicans, 80-20, rock hard suburban Republicanness. And do you think that this one would have voted for Clinton or Trump?
I think this one would have gone to Trump because you've got the old Milton County in it, which I think Abrams won 50 to like 47 or something. And you're basically going around the Democratic part of Cobb with this district. So I'd say this went to Trump, but is going left.
All right. And then you asked for another zoom in on Atlanta. I'm pretty certain there was one more district featuring. Yeah, it was the 11th district. That would be this district, which I guess isn't fully Atlanta, but this district is a nice monstrosity.
Yeah, I think this would have gone to Trump. I don't know what kind of oh boy. I'm just looking at the tendril going through Marietta and then just.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay, so I actually don't remember what the results were. I don't, so I'm gonna pull it up right now and see what it was. I don't remember. There we are. I said through 2010. That's not actually true. There was a redistricting halfway through the decade. This only lasted until I think 2006. So you notice, by the way, population deviation is wildly off.
Yeah.
The 5th district, John Lewis's district, would be 150K people underpopulated. Whereas the 7th district, suburbia, would be 180K people overpopulated. One of the main reasons I love looking at old maps is for that population thing. So let's look. First of all, I want to check stats because that shows the 6th district. The 6th district and the 1st district would actually be possible districts today. They're within that 1% population deviation that some courts require. That's actually kind of funny. All right, so I don't know why I have all these stats listed, but whatever. The 1st district, Southeast, rock red Republican, as predicted, 1 for 1. Congratulations. All right, District 2. That would be also Republican, although Obama would have narrowly won it. That's not consistently Republican throughout the rest of the races. District 3, that's this district, the Macon-based district. Let me just remind you all what it is. District 1, District 2, District 3. That is your 3 for 3. Congratulations. I also like doing this because it shows how population has shifted. We'll be able to see when we go to the full map in a few minutes. District 4, only 70%. Oh, 80%. 80%. That makes more sense. 80% Democrat. I was going to say that. I was going to say there was something wrong with that. I just forgot how popular Isaacson was among African Americans. Yeah, District 6. You were actually wrong. No, you were correct here that I voted for Trump, although it's a lot less close than you would have expected. Again, suburbs voted for Trump by 14 points, voted for Isaacson by 30 points. That is huge. That is crazy huge. District 7 would have actually voted for Trump by even more, by 21 points. So you're wrong there. Sad. Let's see here. District 8. District 8 was, I think, this one. Yep. It's ugly, so I'm going to zoom in on it so you guys can see more of it. I love old Southern gerrymanders. Who are the bears behind me? I will get to that after I'm done looking at these districts, if you don't mind waiting a couple minutes. That would have voted for Trump. District 9, easy Trump district. That's like Paul Brown's district. Trump, etc., etc. The 11th that you mentioned, actually very close. Only voting for Trump by 2%. So I guess congrats, you kind of got that. I remember you Probably because of, that Tensile to Marietta, which took in a bunch of African-American voters. So, good job. District 12 voted Democrat, which I actually wasn't expecting that, but it did. And then, of course, District 13 was Democrat. Now, look at what I mean. South Georgia is losing population drastically, year by year. Atlanta is losing population, but these suburbs are gaining, and they are gaining big. And one of the main reasons I like looking at old maps, partially is just so I can see how they would perform nowadays. For example, this would have yielded a 9-4 split, even though it yielded an 8-5 split in 2002. But the districts themselves would be different. The 12th district will flip, the 3rd and the 2nd district. And I just like looking at that. And you'll notice that these two districts, which are trending left by double digits, are growing drastically. These districts, which are trending right by double digits, are shrinking drastically, which is one of the main reasons why Georgia is a competitive state in 2020. And this is why I love doing old congressional districts. The bears behind me. These bears, they don't have names because they just don't. We have 400 stuffed animals, and naming all of them would be impossible to remember. Bear, bigger bear, big bear, little bear. And then this is one of either my baby shirts or my sister's baby shirts, and it says, I think at a child's birth, if a mother could ask a fairy godmother to endow it with the most useful gift, that gift should be curiosity. And it's a very nice message. I think it's a very sweet message. And these are the bears behind me. All right. So back to the stream. First of all, Chris, where do you go to college? Just interested.
Northern Kentucky University.
Northern Kentucky University. What's that like? I assume it's online this year?
Yeah, I'm mostly online, or I'm all online, but classes are basically you have to go in, or your professor has already been sick and doesn't care that much if they're on campus. Because I've definitely heard a story about that. And I saw a description of my school, and the person said it feels like a private school at public school cost, and I think that's kind of how it's like, except when I go to lunch, because everyone just rushes to the student union for food. It's mostly a commuter school, though. It's mostly people in Hamilton County from Cincinnati, and then the 3 topmost northern Kentucky counties, Boone, Kenton, and Campbell. Like, all of my friends commute in, but I try to live there.
That's probably better. It's certainly cheaper. What are you majoring in? Poli-sci?
Political science and sociology.
Sociology. Oh boy. Do you plan to run for office or like work at a nonprofit or something?
Eventually I'd like to run for office, but for right now, I'm planning on going to grad school for a PhD in political science.
Now, my parents think political science is a useless degree, and I somewhat tend to agree, so I'm interested in why you're going into that field.
Well, as you can tell because you had me on the stream, I'm really into political geography. And my mentor, she's basically like you do something cool in class, I want you to be able to present it. So like I've gone to a conference, like I was the only guy showing maps there. I thought that was really cool. And then I get on Twitter.
So you're a graduate supervisor, whatever the position is called, so she knows about your maps.
Yes.
That's good. That reminds me, everyone should follow him at Blue Arrow Maps. And go follow him. Do it. And follow me too, if you're not already. And so another one of the things I like to do is, since I don't know how to use QGIS, I'm learning. I've taken some tutorials, I've downloaded it and all that. But because of school, it's kind of slow. The learning is a slow process. I've made some maps straight down to the pressings. When I say straight down to the precinct, I mean every single precinct. It is mind-numbing, it is crazy boring, and it takes forever. But when it's done, it feels amazing. This is a map I've been meaning to release for months. I worked on it with Kieran from Election Maps Company, and I've been meaning to release it for months, but I'm forgetting. Sorry. And what this is a map of Trump, Clinton, Duckworth, and Kirk and their performances in the Senate and President. There we go. In 2016, my computer was quite slow. And so, dark blue or Clinton Duckworth, light blue or Clinton Kirk, dark red or Trump Kirk, light pink or Trump Duckworth, and purple is for ties in any of those races. And I'm not good enough to tell who outperforms who because that would take even longer. But for who wins each race. And you can see a lot of these rural areas, especially in southwestern Illinois, were not very friendly to Mark Kirk, who was, at least at the time, from what I remember, I think he was pro-choice. I can't fully remember. I believe he was. He was certainly the stereotype of a Republican suburban elitist. He represented Illinois 10 in Congress before old form, before giving up the run for the Senate. You can pretty clearly see an outline of Daniel Lipinski's district here. Very working class district. Very pro-life, very poor, very white. And you can see that Donald Trump did excellently in those sorts of districts with how many precincts are here, because it's very similar culturally to southwestern Minnesota. I did say southwestern Minnesota. You knew what I meant. And likewise, Clinton Kirk signs all over suburban Illinois, especially in his old district. Like, this is huge. Like, in his old district, he outperformed Clinton by 40% in some places. 40%. But it wasn't enough to save him. And then, the rest of the district's normal. And it's kind of crazy. I mean, like, you look at this. And I also learned that there are some Republican strengths in Chicago, which I didn't know. But here they are. Let's see. I've done maps like this for other states. I've done maps like this. I do have some more questions to ask you, but I am from Maryland, and I'm going to show my map of Maryland because it's my stream, and I want to do that.
Happy to see it.
There it is. Oh yeah, I should also mention that today I was blocked by a child predator, revenge porn enthusiast, and all-around creep Aaron Cohen, and it's great. I love it. It feels amazing. I strongly recommend it. Very similar story. I want to say that no Republican won a single precinct of Prince George's County. I was not expecting that. Not one. There is just a solid stretch sea of blue, which makes it impossible for Republicans to win statewide, except, of course, for Larry Hogan, because Larry Hogan is the GOAT. And sometime I should do a map with, like, how Hogan did compared to Trump or the Senate, because that one else should be interesting. But again, lots of suburban areas, the Anne Arundel, Annapolis, northern Baltimore, the outskirts of the D.C. area. Very, very much anti-Trump, but open to voting for a Republican. Conversely, lots of rural Maryland, the Eastern Shore, etc. They would go for Trump. This is a lot of Frederick area. Trump was a very good candidate for Frederick, which is why I'm very surprised that some people are thinking that he could lose Frederick County in 2020. I doubt very much it would happen. Trump is like the perfect candidate for Frederick. But, it's not a very big county, not a very populous county. People don't know about it. They see, it was close in 2016. It's an improved national atmosphere for Democrats in 2020 than it was in 2016. Ergo, it should flip. It could flip, but it probably won't. My precinct, for example, I don't know exactly. My precinct, it's one of these. I don't remember exactly where, but this precinct close to me. Not that one. Not that one. I'm trying to find one that I want that exemplifies what I want. The ticket splitting, because there's a lot of it. Like here. No. You know what? I'm not this precinct, right? Where is it? I can't zoom in. I need to zoom in. See, that's 84 to 10. That's 85 to 13. That's ticket splitting. 5%. You know what? There's some better ticket splittings up further. I wanna show. Here we go. Clinton won by 24. No, by 23 points, and Van Hollen only won by 17. And this kind of margin is what enabled Kathy Szeliga to. Actually, she did exactly the same as Donald Trump, but surprisingly enough, but in suburbia, she completely crushed it. And I've done maps like this for other states, and I want to do maps for more states. But they take a lot of time. So there was one other thing. So I wanted to ask you, what's your favorite state in terms of redistricting? If you had to redistrict a state, what's your favorite state to redistrict?
It's I would say the state I obsessively redistrict the most is the one I'm going to go with, and that's North Carolina, just because like I've always wanted to move to the mountains there, and I was there actually right before the pandemic started. Like all of us on the trip got sick, but it was because of the black mold in the house.
Oof. That sounds awful.
Yeah, but it's like the prettiest district I've been to. I like Asheville and actually Silva out in like way out in the western bit. It's near Western Carolina University. Actually almost went there. They just should have offered me more money.
So you got a scholarship to Northern Kentucky?
Yeah, it pays for most of tuition.
Yeah. For example, my parents aren't letting me go out of state if I don't get a scholarship, which I probably won't because low state effort, and Maryland has excellent state schools, so I don't really care. Excellent, and more importantly, very, very cheap for in-state students. Very cheap. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. So what's your favorite map that you've ever made? Let's take a tour of it. Pull it up. Let's go through that.
Favorite map I've ever made. Let's see. Let me search my DRA.
It doesn't have to be on DRA. It just, it can be one of those map chart things.
I don't think I have many of my favorites from map charts. Well, let's see which.
All right. I mean, DRA is fine. Just whatever. What I wanted to look at, I want to just pull up one of my favorite.
All right, mine's loading. Share screen. I think this is it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. My state legislative redo for North Carolina. And this
How many districts is this? Is this 100?
Yeah, even 100. And this is shaded by PVI this time.
So let's take a tour through the map. Why did you create it? What principles did you use? What inspired you to create it? Any districts you liked, how they came out, et cetera, et cetera.
So this is part of my, as I said, state legislative redo series. I decided every state legislator should be the same size, so I made them all 50, 100 if possible. So my focus here was largely partisanship because North Carolina is like barely evenly split. I would say since it's 100 seats, there should be 53 Republicans, 47 Democrats. I'm not sure what the end result came down to. I used to have that on a post-it note on my desk, but that's gone. But anyway, so I think the district I like most looks the most gerrymandered, but it's this one that goes from Gastonia to, I think this is Cleveland? Shelby, not Cleveland. Cleveland County.
Mm-hmm. Why do you like that district? Why do you like that district?
Oh, it combines two like kind of liberal urban areas and stits them together, but it's still a Republican-leaning district. Let's see, it's District 9. Let's pull up the numbers. Oh, so in the composite, it's more Democratic by about a exact 1,101 votes and R plus 0.6. And I think, like, for two conservative communities, they get, let's see, there's 3 Republican districts intersect in the area, and then you have one kind of moderate district. And I think that's that kind of describes where the state is going, at least. Like, it's getting more liberal, but it's still a conservative state.
Now, Sarah, you mentioned North Carolina, so as this is before everything, interviews are nice, but this is mostly on historical gerrymandering. So this is the map for the 1980s. Let me 1980, 1982. There we go. A nice looking map, right? Democrats were in control of pretty much the whole state. Mostly county borders were mostly respected. Population was equal. You got they flipped occasionally, your 6-5, your 8-3s, your 9-2s, down in 1990, right? And you can tell, by the way, right here, right? You can tell that there's slowly diminishing rural strength. If you look at the margins, and if you just look at the fact that this district flips, the margins for Democrats were shrinking in these districts. This was even almost a Republican district, except, of course, Walter Jones Sr., the Democrat for this district, before his son Walter Jones Jr. ran as a Republican and held blah, 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 which we all know about. But there's diminishing rural strength, and Democrats knew about that. And so they wanted to keep their 7-4 map throughout the 90s. And in order to keep their 7-4 map throughout the 90s, they drew this map. I'm sorry, 8-4 map. My apologies. They wanted to keep their district. Voila. And I want to go through some beautiful parts with it. Beautiful, of course, being relative. This part. Black areas, some black people here occasionally, white, urban, liberal stuffs. The second district. The third district, a very, very good district. This is non-contiguous. It just flat out is. It's not a visual glitch. This is just not, there's no water contiguity, like there's not a river or anything. It's just non-contiguous. There's no reason for it. I don't know why it was legalized, but here it is. The fourth district, David Price's district. This is a nice looking district. You got your rally and you got woke people. Of course, back then there were fewer woke people. Also, Lavinia Rothrock Goody, who I believe was actually a black woman, ran as a Republican and got a respectable 1/3 of the vote in this crazy urban college town Democratic district. I want to point that out. The intricacies you learn, candidates who never had a chance, but you learn things. The fifth district, a very ugly district stretching across half the state. This map is one of my favorite maps, and I'm loving it. It's one of my favorite maps. This district. This is, in fact, contiguous. I swear. But I can never remember which side it's contiguous on because it was like a 10-foot wire. I think it's over here. Nope, not over there. Over here. Oh, it's not contiguous. I actually didn't realize that. Oh, I always thought it was contiguous. Whoops. Anyway, Howard Cobble's district. This is also just not contiguous. Beats me. It just isn't. We've got this nice little beastie, this nice tendril. This is water going all the way up here. Just a nice little thing. 0 districts except possibly the fourth, and even that's not fully good looking. Look decent. This looks fine until you see this tendril and this tendril and this tendril. It looks fine at a glance. This district just stretching around urban Charlotte. Speaking of Gastonia, we got the 10th district, which I think was another good-looking, nice thing. It looks, it kind of looks like a rabbit, right? Like the rabbit ear right here is the left ear. There's the head. It's kind of bending downwards. That's the tail, and that's it dragging something behind it. Maybe a foot caught in a rabbit trap. I'm completely serious. It looks like a rabbit. Can you see it yet?
I see it.
Yeah, gerrymandering is fun. The Asheville district.
Oh, just
Yeah,
that whole.
a lot of people will not like. It actually looks very similar to the current, or actually the previous current 11th district, like the one that was in use for 2018, but not the one that's in use for 2020. And then, of course, the one everyone thinks about. And I wanted to save the 12th for last because the 12th is the one everyone thinks about on the 90s map. But I wanted to share that all the others are also really awful before getting to the 12th. Here's the 12th.
That takes like the city centers of all of those.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Melvin Watt, only slightly less corrupt than Alma Adams. And I love it. And then, of course, no one they underestimated how quickly the South would shift, and some people retired. And 1994 red wave happened. Some people retired, others were defeated, and this is an 8-4 map in just one short election. It's now an 8-4 map the other way. And there was a nonpartisan analysis done about a decade ago, saved in a really ugly PDF that I found when I was searching for research to talk about this map, not for this week, but for some week. I'm just glad I happened to pop up now. Democrats could have gotten a 6-6 map very easily and could have probably had a 7-5 map. But they went for the 8-4 and they got punished. Here's the 6-6, but that was 1996 with Bill Clinton and Ross Perot taking away a bunch of votes from Republicans. And that wasn't to last. Back in 98, they won one district after the court-ordered redistricting, which makes me feel sad. And the districts are still really ugly. Really ugly. Like, objectively, you look at them, this is a really ugly district. This is a really ugly district. This one, district number, 5, I think. Yeah, 5. There's also Richard Burr's district, and we'll get to that later. That's a really ugly district. This is a really ugly map. But it looks beautiful, because the map that came right before it looked like this, and the map that came right after it looks like this. Objectively, this is a hideous map that is beautiful comparatively. This is Richard Burr. So of course, Richard Burr, he of the stock trade scandal via COVID. Have you ever been to this district before, Chris?
I believe I've driven through Winston-Salem and Greensboro. Oh, I spent the night in Greensboro on the way to the beach once, but that was about it.
Well, this is the older version of the current 5th, which has conservative provocateur Virginia Fox in office. So, congrats, I guess.
I think I've been to the recently overturned districts.
Yes, that was recently overturned. Yes, I don't think the current one looks like this anymore. But this looks very similar to the current districts, but not like the overturned ones. Not those. This. See, yeah. Very similar. Just shifted a little bit west, just a little bit.
Yeah, I've been to this map's districts.
What about it?
Oh, I've been to Boone there, went there for a college tour, stayed in Winston-Salem.
I see.
Been all over the 11th, been to the 13th, cut through the Charlotte district, cut through both of the Greensboro ones. Most of it's been driving, but it's been interesting.
Right.
I made maps, and it's I've been to all these congressional districts.
Always fun to learn that. What else do I want to show? I don't really know what I want to show. I guess I'll show one more map. Blue Kansas, because that's a trendy topic on election Twitter lately. This is Blue Kansas. Oh, really? Oh, this was a really old map. Wow. I told you, I've been making maps for 2.5 years. I made this one before the 2020 block groups even came out. It's a really old map. But anyway, Blue Kansas, you're welcome. Um, don't ask. Took a lot of effort. Don't ask. Don't tell. I'll convert this off camera sometime. And then you had one more map you wanted to show me, but I can't remember what it was. So do you want to pull that up real quick?
Yeah, it's my state legislative redo of Ohio. So basically,
Ohio, that was it.
Series as the North Carolina one was. I think it's this link. Yes. And this is the House one, and I like to do Ohio because my dad's family's from there. They're from up in the Honan Valley up here. My aunt lives in Columbus. My uncle's got a campground in Ashtabula. I'd go into Ohio.
First question. Yep. This is what, 120K people per district?
This one's 116. California got complicated. I don't know why it was a higher deviation.
More importantly, so 116K people. How do you get the Columbus districts to stay contiguous with all those weird precincts?
Let's see if they are contiguous. I don't think they are. But the thing is, DRA registers it as contiguous if the precinct itself is not. Because, like, look at this, like, dark, or this, like, mid-blue Columbus one here. It's got that whole tendril. It's got spots everywhere. It is a mess.
Yeah, that's hideous.
Yeah. See,
that's why I hate making maps of Ohio, because I always spend hours and hours just trying to get it right.
Yeah, see, this part of Ohio is much better and not much.
How many of those districts do you bet are going to flip to Trump in 2020?
Let's see. I think Hillary Clinton would have won the Portage one here, the one with Kent in it. I think Trump would have won this light blue Akron one, and I think Clinton would have won this light blue Cleveland one. I think basically if it's light blue in Northeast Ohio, Trump won it, and if it's like this kind of like bright blue, Trump narrowly lost it.
That makes sense. Speaking of Ohio, Ohio. I have a map of Ohio. This map was made years ago, before 2016 data came out, so it doesn't look like a good gerrymander, but this is only 2008 data, so you got to remember there's something like a 10-point swing rightwards from 2008 to 2016. Yeah, you can see this nice convert button. Oh my god, why is this computer so slow? There we go.
Oh, wow.
This district, it's possible it flips in like 2016, but you know, it's an easy fix. Very easy fix. You just move it northwards. This is water contiguous, but not land contiguous, I don't think. Let me check. Wait. No, barely water contiguous. Just barely. Wait, all my districts are contiguous. I know that. I made them contiguous. Why are they saying it's not? Oh, okay. There aren't any non-contiguous districts. That's what I thought. So, you know, this thing, nice little, I like it. It's a fun map. Looks like Jim Jordan might actually have a rather close district here, surprisingly. I wonder whether Urbana's in 14 or 15.
I think Steve Driehaus would have won the 5th district, the Cincinnati one.
I think it's very possible. I think it's very possible. Either way, I think it's in 14, but either way, it's certainly not a safe district like it is currently. A few things I wanted to share. Do you have any maps of Maryland?
Yes, I do. Do you want me to pull one up?
Absolutely.
All right. Let's see. you want me to pull up one of the state legislative ones?
Whichever one you want.
All right, I'll go state legislative. All right, it's pulling up. So let's get the screen. Oh boy, which one is it? Is it that one? That's California.
Shame. They are different states.
Yep. Let's see. Is it that one? Why does it keep wanting to share California? Okay, Maryland is all loaded. It just needs to cooperate with me.
That happens.
Yeah. Is it that one? What the? Okay, I'm going to kill the California tab, and it doesn't even get the option now. Okay, I should have one DRA tab up, and it will hopefully realize that.
That's what I do. I always keep one tab up, no more than that.
All right, here we go.
There we go. And this
We got some interesting
nice looking thing.
maps.
What was your thought process making this map? Why did what did you? Was this was this one of those partisanship maps?
Yeah, most of them are partisanship. For this one, though, it was basically kind of start in the panhandle and then work around.
It looks like you crossed the bay, the Chesapeake Bay, and that annoys me to no ends. Down south.
This one, yeah.
That annoys me very greatly.
I'm sorry.
It should never be crossed. It was crossed in the 2000 Maryland map, and I'm never getting past it. Zoom in on DC, would you please?
All right.
Thank you. I just want to share with the audience. Zoom out a tiny bit. And yep, there we go. I want to show the audience. You see that stretch from the dark blue to the red? That is the Prince George's Anne Arundel County border. It's the outskirts of Prince George's and the insides of Anne Arundel are very similar demographic-wise. 50% white-ish, 50% white-ish, but they vote incredibly differently just because they're in different counties. Maryland counties are a big deal. If you move up north of it, you can see the same thing in Montgomery County and Frederick County. Right there. Very similar demographic-wise, et cetera, et cetera. Nice. What's the difference between your dark blue and your very dark blue?
This is PVI shaded, so dark blue is 20 to 30, and the darkest blue is 30 plus.
As in PVI or margin?
PVI.
Oh, that saddens me. Go in on that district in the bottom left. I want to see. That looks like my family's district. I want to see how it would vote.
This one?
No, bottom left, closer to DC.
Closer to DC. Which one are you thinking?
That one. Yeah, that one.
This?
The one that's center, the one in Bethesda, Chevy Chase. Yep, right there. That looks like my family's district. I want to see how it would vote.
All right. District 82.
No, not North Bethesda, the one right below it.
Oh, normal Bethesda.
Yeah, 81. I want to see how that would vote. Just because, family lives there. I just want to see him.
Yeah. Let's see. Data sets. Governor, senator.
Governor President.
All right, Governor President.
Yeah. I wonder if Hogan actually won, because I remember I was canvassing for him in that area, and there was a lot of enthusiasm for him from lifelong Democrats. Oh. No, so close. But you can see, my eyesight isn't good, but that looks like 79 to 15 for president, and then 53-45 for governor. Is that right?
It rounds closer to 80-14 president than 53-47 gov.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy crossover, and that's exactly what I was talking about. People love Larry Hogan in this around here. It's sad that he didn't win that area. I hope he did. Let's see here. Just some general questions. What was your favorite primary challenge? Unsuccessful. What incumbent that won this year were you happiest that he or she won? If you say AOC, I'm joking. I actually don't care. I'm just interested.
I mean, I don't know if she had that strong of a primary challenge, but I was glad that Sherry Bustos won. I think the Democratic Party needs some more like rural-focused Democrats or like smaller cities in the heartland.
Absolutely. Speaking of Sherry Bustos, I believe it was 2010. That's not. Oh, that's North Carolina. I want Illinois. There we go. Speaking of Sherry Bustos, no, it was 2012. Was it 2014? No. Yeah, 2012. Win against Bobby Schilling, 2012. Win against, I believe, Bobby Schilling again in 2014 by a bigger margin than in 2012, despite the red wave. Just thought that was really interesting. I remember that when I was looking her up a little while ago, and I just wanted to share. I mean, it's just surprising to me. 55-45 in the red wave, in the red wave, and this was 53-47. And I just thought it would be fun. I think she was. Oh no, she didn't beat him again. Never mind.
No, Schilling moved to Iowa, I think. I thought he tried to run in Iowa too.
Yes, that was it. I remember he ran a third time and lost for something. Iowa too, right?
Yeah, I think so. I gotta say, I just love to see like candidates move to another state and think they can run and win, and then they just get beat down. I don't care what party you are.
Oh well, I think he lost in the primary then. Scott Peters did pretty well in New Hampshire.
Yep.
Let's see. What state do you live in currently?
Kentucky.
Kentucky are way up here. I probably had even more maps on my old account and probably even more on the old DRA. I don't actually have too many Kentucky maps. That saddens me. Here was the old pre-Baker v. Carr Kentucky map. Well, here was how it voted then. There's going to be a big difference. So here was how it voted then.
Ooh.
Dark red Louisville. Dark red Louisville. Wasn't even close, but it was close. Never mind. Point still stands. Dark red Louisville. And of course, ancestral Republican, Southern Kentucky, Union Territory, current days. I would have thought that all that talking would have given it time to load.
See, I saw it was Gene Snyder that was the rep then. They still have a highway named after him. I think it's 264.
Who said? Oh, Gene Snyder. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the 3, right? Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
You can see a very big difference. Dark blue, Louisville, actually not super dark because it is possibly trending a bit rightwards. But and red, dark red everywhere else. And just cool to think of.
It is cool that I'm grouped with Central Kentucky. That is.
You're in the 6? You're in 6?
Or I'm in 4 right now.
4.
Yeah.
So you're in like this area?
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, zoom
You're
in.
going to be outvoted by a bunch of hillbillies. And yeah, again, overpopulated Lexington and Louisville, underpopulated everywhere else. Another thing, sir. In fact, this one, District 4, is 250,000 people overpopulated, and District 1 is 175,000 people underpopulated. And this little part, I hate this part. Give it back to Missouri. It does not deserve to be part of Kentucky.
Yeah, I think we need to give that back. And just from my travel experience, I can tell you that 1, 5, and 7 are kind of straight up dying. Like I go to Red River Gorge. It's a great hiking spot. And there's this little town called Beattyville there. And we stayed there for a while, and just there are like 2 whole streets where like all the stores have shuttered. Like the newest thing in town is the Dairy Queen and Dollar General is messed up.
Wow, that's actually really sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, the media complex overwhelmingly lives in New York and DC, so they pay attention to all the urban problems, crime, drugs, single motherhood, but rural areas have problems too, and some cases greater, some lesser. The fact that the communities are dying is certainly a greater problem. That's an entire American way of life that's going to vanish soon. How is the second district doing? Just curious.
It's doing kind of better. Like the river cities there, Hendersonville and Owensboro, they're doing okay. Owensboro's economy actually has grown since the pandemic because they manufacture PPE, they make alcohol, and I think they produce some other medical thing. But it's also got Bowling Green in it. Bowling Green's growing. That's where Western Kentucky University is. Like, we have the Golden Triangle up north, like that you have to win politically to win Kentucky. Louisville, Lexington, Northern Kentucky. They're saying now it needs to be the Golden Diamond and connect Bowling Green in.
Yeah. It happens. Sad. I wonder whether it would be easy for me to make this map. Looks like it would take a little bit of effort figuring everything out. You would, of course, still be dictated to by people in this area, but it wouldn't be too bad.
See, I'm more okay with suburban Louisville, but not like West Central Kentucky, because like it's the shared suburban kind of interest. Like if I'm in Boone County to go to Florence or something, I'm fairly confident it would be the same as like if I was in like suburban Jefferson.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And then nowadays it's actually a pretty good looking district. It actually also makes a lot of sense. Just North Kentucky.
Something that vexes me with the current map to no end is that the state legislature, they refuse to group Paducah and Bowling Green in the Western District together because they don't want either city to be overshadowed by each other. And I think that's weird. Because can you zoom in on the like where it gets really tight near the Tennessee border?
Tennessee border. You mean? Oh, here. Yep.
Right there. The rep for the district lives right under Bowling Green, and the rep for the other district lives in Bowling Green.
Really?
So, like, if you dropped a big enough bomb, you could knock out both of them, and I think that's kind of stupid.
I did not know that. That is crazy. Wow. I don't really know what to say, and that's pretty crazy.
In my district currently, everyone like kind of objects to us being with Ashland, which is on the West Virginia, Ohio border area. Yeah, like the eastern end by Huntington, like right at, I would say Maysville is where it transitions.
So this area? What about it?
Like it's just different. Like once you cross through Maysville, then you're like, it feels like you're officially in eastern Kentucky. Like it looks like it. You see the mountains, like the houses look different. So like there's a county line right where the river kind of makes a U by Maysville. That's the eastern, not eastern border line. And like below it's eastern, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, the things you learn every day. There's one thing I wanted to say. Let's see. I want to share before I go. I want to share a little tidbit that many people, even on election Twitter, don't know about the current Florida map. And I want to do it the one before because that shows me a little bit easier what I'm trying to say. I don't see Hastings District. Practically, this land is empty. There's a couple people, like a couple hundred people living here. Nobody lives here. It's the Everglades. This is, to all intents and purposes, two discontiguous strips in Fort Lauderdale, Pompano Beach, and in West Palm Beach, Boynton Beach, Deerfield Beach. and it is joined by land, so it's legal and all that, but it's not. It's just two discontiguous strips.
Yeah, I think
it's really hard. I don't even think it's a majority-minority district. I could be wrong. Let me pull that up. Well, of course, the current one looks almost exactly the same as the old one, so it'll only be a few percent off, whether it is that way or not. Oh, excuse me. Oh, gosh darn you. There we go. Let me see how it is. Oh my gosh. Hell, I don't care about District 6. Give me District 20. Oh no, it is majority black. I did not realize that. But either way, that's weird because like it doesn't need to be this ugly to be majority black. It really doesn't. It just flat out doesn't. But it is. Maybe I don't know where he lives. Maybe Hastings lives in this area, and or in this area, and that might be why. Maybe he didn't want to get primaried by Frederica Wilson, so they like drew her areas out. I would be interested if anyone could tell me why this district is drawn the way it is, because it's really unnecessary. And in a state filled with ugly districts for decades, the old California 5, the old California 3. Let me zoom in a bit.
Oh, man.
Ugly district. Florida 20 is something. Anyway, it is 6:31. I have a Dungeons & Dragons game at 7. Thank you, Chris, for being here on the show. I look forward to another stream next Tuesday, same time, same-ish topic. We will have fun. Let us begin. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.